Maybe it falls to you now, Melania. You can end this reign of terror, and all you have to do is channel your inner Taylor Swift and walk out the door. But they left out my favorite feature in Us Weekly, which is the 25 things you don't know about me. Do you read about this? The man who got Trump elected and keeps his base ignorant. The man who killed Australia's carbon tax. I know he's rich, but is it worth Western civilization? The Melania's list. I don't know if you'd like to... But these are her rules.
Is Melania Trump secretly plotting her grand escape? Bill Maher dropped a bombshell that sent Trump into a tizzy, and now everyone's wondering, is the former First Lady ready to ditch her hubby? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Maher joked about Melania Googling felony conviction invalidate marriage. But what if he accidentally stumbled onto the truth? We're about to unpack the clues that might reveal Melania's master plan to break free from the Trump circus.
It's not anti-feminist to say that in addition to doing everything men can do intellectually, women also have another power. The power of the ultimatum. But they left out my favorite feature in Us Weekly, which is the 25 things you don't know about me. Do you read about this? Toss his boxy clown suits on the front lawn. Just tell him I'm leaving you and I'm taking our child. He would be stunned. We have a child?
Bill Maher's been at it again, folks. The comedian's got a knack for getting under Trump's skin, and this time he hit the bullseye. On his show, Maher cracked wise about Melania Trump's recent Google searches. With a mischievous grin, he suggested she might be looking up felony conviction invalidate marriage. Ouch! Now, Maher's been poking fun at Trump for years, but this joke, it struck a nerve, and it all comes down to one little word: invalidate. That's right, folks. Trump can brush off jokes about his hair, his tan, even his, shall we say, unique way of speaking. But when it comes to questioning the validity of his marriage, that's when the gloves come off. Why is invalidate such a trigger for the Donald? Well, think about it. Trump's whole brand is built on being a winner, the best at everything. The idea that his marriage could be nullified, that's like kryptonite to Superman. It's not just about losing Melania, it's about losing face. And let's face it, Trump's not exactly known for handling relationship rumors with grace. Remember when he lashed out at reports of Melania's facelift? Or how about the time he called Stormy Daniels horseface? Classy, right? The man's got a track record of going nuclear when anyone dares to question his personal life.
And finally, new rule: Melania Trump must do what dozens of buildings around the world have done and take the Trump name off. You are not to ever again mention the bride catalog's return policy. Maybe it falls to you now, Melania. You can end this reign of terror, and all you have to do is channel your inner Taylor Swift and walk out the door. And we got a hold of Melania's. It's not in this magazine, but it's coming out soon. Would you like to hear Melania's 25 things you didn't know about? Is there anyone left who can check Donald Trump? Yes, Melania.
But here's the kicker. What if Maher accidentally stumbled onto something real? I mean, we've all seen how Melania sometimes looks at Trump like she's imagining him disappearing in a puff of orange smoke. Could there be more to this joke than meets the eye? Trump's reaction only adds fuel to the fire. Instead of laughing it off, he went full grumpy Trumpy, ranting and raving about Maher. It's like watching a kid throw a tantrum because someone found his secret candy stash. The more he protests, the more we wonder, what's really going on in the Trump household? So, is this just another case of a comedian getting lucky with a zinger? Or did Bill Maher accidentally pull back the curtain on the Trump marriage? Stick around, folks, because this story's got more layers than Trump's spray tan. And trust me, we're just getting started peeling them back. You know what they say, actions speak louder than words. And Melania's actions, they're practically screaming. From dodging hand-holding attempts to skipping important events, Mrs. Trump's behavior is raising more eyebrows than her husband's toupee. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this the beginning of Melania's great escape? Let's face it, Melania's been pulling a vanishing act that would make David Copperfield jealous. She's been MIA from some pretty big Trump shindigs lately. Remember when Donald got his mugshot taken in Georgia?
Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. getting men to change their destructive ways by threatening to leave them, humiliate them, or cut them off in bed? Because there's another former model who's also married to a super rich Republican monster, Mrs. Rupert Murdoch, Jerry Hall. The Melania's list, I don't know if you'd like to, but these are her rules. So kick him to the curb, slap away that hand for good.
Melania was nowhere to be seen. It's like she's allergic to orange jumpsuits or something. But it's not just about where she isn't, it's about how she acts when she is around. Body language experts have been having a field day with Melania's recent appearances. They're saying she looks about as comfortable as a vegan at a BBQ contest. Crossed arms, forced smiles, and more distance between her and Trump than there is between his ears. It's like watching a real-life game of spot the difference. Except the difference is Melania's growing desire to be anywhere else. Now, we've got more conflicting reports about Melania's feelings towards Trump than he has conflicting statements about, well, everything. Some folks say she's fed up with his antics, while others swear she's still his biggest fan. It's harder to read than Trump's tax returns.
Your unhappiness is obvious. You despise his creepy little monkey fingers touching your hand. The man who got Trump elected and keeps his base ignorant. The man who killed Australia's carbon tax. I know he's rich, but is it worth Western civilization? And you two have a lot in common. Your husbands are ruining the world. So far, over a dozen Republican candidates tried to stop Trump and couldn't. Hillary couldn't, never.
But here's where it gets juicy. Those body language experts, they're not just making this stuff up, they're seeing real signs of tension and discomfort in Melania's behavior. It's like she's trying to send us all a secret message without saying a word. Maybe she's been binge watching spy movies for tips? All this evidence is pointing to a growing rift between the Trumps wider than the Grand Canyon. It's like watching a slow motion train wreck, except one of the trains is desperately trying to uncouple and make a run for it. So what's really going on behind those gilded doors? Is Melania planning her exit strategy, or is she just really good at playing hard to get? One thing's for sure. If Trump doesn't start Googling how to keep your wife happy soon, he might find himself getting served with more than just legal papers. So what's the verdict on Melania's great escape plan? Well, we've got more red flags than a Chinese parade. Her vanishing acts, those icy stares, and body language that screams "get me out of here." It's all adding up to one big question mark over the Trump marriage. But will Melania actually make her move? Or is this all just a big old nothing burger? Only time will tell, folks. Maybe she's just playing hard to get, or maybe she's plotting her exit strategy faster than Trump can tweet witch hunt. One thing's for sure, if Trump doesn't start paying attention to his wife instead of his legal troubles, he might find himself tweeting single before long. Maybe he should spend less time ranting about fake news and more time Googling how to keep your wife from running for the hills. Just a thought, Donnie.